Hi there, this is Burt from the California Family Council, and today I'm in front of an abortion clinic here in Sacramento as part of the 40 Days for Life campaign here in the state of California.
Yes, it is.
And this is Wynette Sills. She is the Director of Californians for Life, and she is one of the leaders here for 40 Days for Life. So why don't you just, Wynette, tell us what 40 Days for Life actually is
Sure.
and what's going on right now here in California.
So 40 Days for Life is a time of prayer and fasting by which people all around the world simultaneously are participating in a campaign that you can find out more information at 40daysforlife.com. There are 52 cities in California, of all places, that have committed to praying and fasting, not just at home or in our churches, but to actually be here on the noisy sidewalk in front of an abortion business, as we are here today. And we are here offering information about life-affirming resources in our community for any woman who may be coming here indecisive about an abortion decision and just needs that extra encouragement and resources and help, compassion, assistance to nudge her towards making a choice for life for her child. And so we provide information as well as facts about fetal development. And most of all, we're here in a prayerful presence. It's not a picket or a protest. You won't hear any yelling or graphic signs. We're here out of empathy and compassion and love. It's really a ministry, because we care. And our main sign is, it will show up backwards, I guess, but
There we go. It says, pregnant, need help.
Yeah. So we chose that message as our foundation because that really is in reality our whole purpose for being here. In addition to talking about the pregnancy clinics that are life affirming and available, we also show them the fetal models of what a baby looks like at 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks of pregnancy. And most moms, when they see that, they're like, They don't let me see my ultrasound. They just tell me that it's a bunch of cells, some tissue. I had no idea, arms and legs, and of course they can hear the baby's heartbeat. And so if we can encourage them to go to like the Sacramento Life Center, Alternatives Pregnancy Clinic, they can see on the big screen the ultrasound image of their baby and hear that baby's heartbeat. And in those cases, it's like 90% sure that they'll choose life once they're in an environment that's supportive and able to get the information that they deserve and they need. And so,
Well, Wynette, I know coming out in front of an abortion clinic for a lot of people is a scary thing. Makes people nervous, but they'd also ask, am I really doing anything? Is it really making a difference? I've heard you tell me some stories about people actually changing their minds.
well, really, the best way to learn more about the Sidewalk Ministry is through the movie Unplanned.
Okay.
And that really takes you through the whole history of 40 Days for Life. It shows women changing their mind. It shows the reality of what happens in an abortion. It also talks about the ministry we have towards anyone who works in the abortion industry and how we are here for their sake as well. So just last week, 5 moms chose life on surgical abortion day. Right here behind us are steps that lead right up to the abortion clinic. And so as I look at these steps and at the little grassy area, I have so many memories of women that have approached. And when I say, good afternoon, may I give you some information? Their response is, I've decided to keep my baby. I've chosen life. And so, that is incredible. I mean, what else can you do?
So they came for an appointment, and then before they went in, they changed their minds, or what happened?
Every encounter is unique. And so out of the 5 women last Tuesday that changed their mind, probably 3 out of the 5, I don't even know if we had any interaction with them on their way in.
Yeah.
But you can see the signs we have here, the people praying, the message gets through. Overcoming that initial fear is a big step. To say yes to God's call and to find yourself at a sidewalk in front of an abortion clinic, I know is a big ask. For me, I've been doing this about 16 years, and when I first started, there is a level of discomfort, and I think for a Christian perspective, it's much like being at the foot of the cross. I mean, this is a place right here in our community, and communities throughout our state and across the country, where human lives, babies, are being killed. And you think, well, what can I do about that? And I think to myself, well, if they were killing puppies in our community, and if I knew the place, the location, the time, the date, if I had all that information, I mean, just think how a community would respond. And yet, close to 3,000 babies are killed every day. And largely, it goes unnoticed by the Christian community. And so, to serve God in the least of His, I would look into this camera and say, please give it a try. Just come. I mean, the initial, most important contribution you can make is come and pray. I think anyone can pray. Okay. Right? This is my friend Allie, and Allie's kind of new to sidewalk counseling and 40 Days for Life. This is her first season being out here, so I want to just share her story, let Allie tell you about it, but to give encouragement to anyone who's like, I don't know, that seems so intimidating. How could I ever do such a thing? And so Allie was asking me, we were here on a surgical abortion day, and that's very emotional, very difficult, but Allie was asking me, so what do you do especially when after a woman has had an abortion? And sure enough, about 5 minutes later, a woman came walking out. So I'll let Allie give you her perspective.
Well, she came walking out of the door. She was escorted by one of the nurses there, and she came forward. And I thought she was going to go to the car, and she actually came where we were on the outside here on the sidewalk. And what was really beautiful was seeing how Wynette approached her with some information and asked if she'd be interested in some information for support, and she was welcoming. And more than anything, she said, I wanted to keep my baby, and hers was because she had a certain kind of a pregnancy that took the baby's life. I think it was like 6 weeks along, so she had a procedure there yesterday to like a DNC, I guess that would probably be, but she goes, I wanted my baby. And so she was up there yesterday with these other ladies sitting in the room, the waiting room, who were waiting to have an abortion. And we felt her empathy and her sadness on that part as well. And just within that minute of her sharing a few minutes, and we were listening, I was just kind of taken over in the sense of, would you mind if I prayed for you? And I was meaning in my mind, I would pray for you at home. And she said yes. And with that, Wynette put her hand on her shoulder, and the three of us prayed. I just started praying, and the Holy Spirit worked through me to pray for her and her needs, and for asking for comfort and support. And after that, she was very appreciative of that, and she was very welcoming with when it shared more of the information in our packets about the grief counseling that is offered for people, for women and men afterwards. And so I think she was very open with that and what we had to offer to her. So that was a great way of beginning sidewalk counseling, if that's what you want to say. So I'm back here again today just because I feel God's call to me. And I've had this feeling for quite a while, but it hadn't fit into my scheduling per se. And now I'm looking for something that I can do that's volunteer, where I know it's for life. If we're changing 1 or 2 or 3 women's lives being here, and just with our support and giving them a choice. I don't think 50 years ago when this was first passed, there were very many choices available for them. And now there's so many better choices that they have. And if they don't know about it, they're only seeing what they see in a very fogged mind. And so being able to at least offer that to them. And that's what I hope to do, to give them from the heart that we love you unconditionally, and there's hope for you and for your future.
Every once in a while there'll be someone who's angry, and they say, they stop, they pull their car in here and they want to yell at us, and yet very often Those are the same personalities, the same brothers and sisters in the Lord to us who have been very hurt by the subject of abortion. And so if we can give them just a few minutes to release all of that anger and respond with compassion and love and listening and empathy, it's usually within 5 minutes that anger and yelling changes from, just spewing out all of this hostility to tears of conviction and contrition, and they're sharing with us, well, I was young, I didn't have any other option, I didn't feel like I had a choice, and so I came and did this, and yet, here we are years later, and I can still remember the date and the smells and the sounds, and we're able to minister to them from the pain of a past abortion with great love and empathy. And so, we think we're here to save lives, but to draw people closer to Christ and also to grow in our own spirituality, as far as we're not angry protesters. We're here by the grace of God.
So this particular 40 Days for Life campaign started when it started in...
That's always a good question.
September.
Oh, as far as this particular
one,
year, yeah, September, let's say 23rd-ish, 26th.
Okay, and it's over on November 1st, I believe. So all of next week, there's opportunities for anyone to come down to one of these abortion clinics.
There are 52 locations, 40 Days for Life locations in California, and you can find those details at 40daysforlife.com. And you'll see a map there organized by zip code, and you can find your nearest location at 40 Days for Life. Okay. That's FOR life.com, and you can find your nearest one. Yes, so go there. We've got about a week remaining.
That's great. So appreciate you being here and being an example to everyone, and hope you take her up on her offer to come out to a 40 Days for Life event next week. And if not, there's always the future. I know they have these campaigns running on a regular basis, right?
In the fall and in the spring.
So if you're frustrated with how abortion is rampant here in California and want to know what to do, this is something practical you can do that actually changes lives and saves lives.